Hey, Chris. Hi there. Here's me. I'm on Point Mugu. Can you hear me? Because it's really windy here. Hey, Chris. Can you hear me? Excellent. Yeah. I'm at Point Mugu, which is in on the border of Ventura and Malibu, and I've got some news to share about what I've been going through, but it's much more interesting. You can hear me? Great, thanks. Little feedback. I'm gonna sit. So what's happening is I've been on the road for the past 3 weeks, going to hot springs, a set of hot springs up in the Southern Sierra called Miracle Hot Springs, and it's been a real miracle for me, I have to tell you. But I'm back, just getting back into LA right at this moment, and what's happening is tomorrow I'm scheduled for a PET scan and a blood workup, blood test, and at 2 o'clock at Harvard UCLA, and I'll get the results on Wednesday with my oncologist, and this will determine if I'm cured. Thought you might want to know about that if you've been paying any kind of attention. So I feel like I might be, but it'd be really wonderful to know for sure that I'm cancer free. So it feels like it. There's, the lymph nodes aren't swollen anymore, and one side feels like the other. There's nothing in the back of the tumor that was in the back of my mouth is gone, and I feel really good. I weigh about what I did playing football in college, about at 175, and Bud Delano, you would know about that. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm looking forward to this PET scan tomorrow, and I've been water fasting since Friday to make sure that we get a clean scan, no hard carbohydrates or no sugars, because that's what a PET scan does. They inject you with this radioactive stuff that can it makes all the sugar in your body light up, so your brain lights up, your heart lights up, and I've actually posted a couple of, if you scroll back through my feed, I've posted some of the previous PET scans, and carbohydrates make it light up, so you want to make sure that you're not taking any of that in. they said I could eat like meat and stuff, but I'm like not taking any chances. After water fasting for 26 days, I can handle doing another 3 days of water fasting. No problem. So after this, when I find out on Wednesday, I'll let you know how it goes for sure. I've been driving down the coast all day. My sister Chris and I met up on Friday up at the hot springs. And it was her first time in a hot spring, and that was fun. And we car camped up there, and then we drove over to the coast today, and then we split up. She went back up north, and I'm coming back down here for this. Here's Malibu. I'm a little excited and anxious to find out. Like I said, I feel really good. I feel like the treatment has worked, and I can still smell and taste the chemo in me. And to prove the point that it's still working, the radiation is still working too. I just lost another dread in the back about a half an hour ago. So that's good, right? It's still working. So if it turns out that there's still some cancer in there, then they will wait 6 months to do another PET scan and see where we are then. I have another option of possibly doing some proton therapy in the interim, which is kind of like a targeted radiation therapy. But hopefully that won't be necessary. But if it is necessary, there's a place down in San Diego that I've researched, and this oncologist is willing to give me a referral if necessary, so that we can at least start the ball rolling and get talking about even if it's necessary or would be effective in this case. I think it will be, because I don't think that if there are any cancer cells left, I don't think there's very many of them, and this proton therapy is really good at targeted radiation, so targeting the radiation. So that's what's up. That's what's going on. Once I found out on Wednesday, either way, there'll be joy. Yeah, there'll be David and joy. So for sure, just because it's been 12 weeks since the last radiation treatment, and that's as soon as you can do one of these PET scans to see if it's had any good. And I will certainly be looking forward, by this time tomorrow, I'll be able to eat something. And but after this, I'll probably be hitting the road as soon as I can get a band together. Hoping to be at for the solstice, being up at Big Sur at the Jade Node, and then I'm thinking about for the 3rd and 4th of July being at the old 2001 Rainbow Gathering site at the main circle with my pet watermelon and whoever else shows up. But that's what we'll see if that happens. But in between here and there's nothing but hot springs for me. The soaking really seems to be helping a lot, and working out, getting my muscles back in tone and building up more muscle mass. Those are my two main focuses: is soaking as much of the toxins out as I can, and eating, keeping my caloric intake up, especially protein, lots of protein, and green leafy vegetables, and working out, making sure that whatever weight I put on, it's muscle and not just flab, So yeah, so that's what's up. I just wanted to, put the words out. Really looking. I'll probably be staying in the West at least until the 4th. Hoping, because I know that they have. There's a highway that runs from Oregon through Idaho to Montana. I think it's Highway 12. It's like supposed to has more hot springs on it than anything else. And I'm going to go do some research and let you know how that works out. So, and then I'm looking to head east. Like to make it to the Cape and points in between. So, let's see. There we go. So yeah, that's what's happening, and hoping to spend the summer traveling, and want to see some folks in Ohio, of course, and stop at my friend Baji, his new restaurant in I think it's in Ohio. Is it in Toledo or someplace like that? Marietta, is that it? That's in Ohio, right? I want to taste what I couldn't eat. I still am having trouble tasting food because of the radiation fried my taste buds. When I couldn't taste food, I got into food porn. All these people we all like to poo-poo them, the people that post pictures of their food, their plate of food and everything like that. At the time I wasn't eating. It was during that 26 days when I was on water fasting, and I wasn't able to eat anything. And people would be posting these pictures of their plate of food, and I was just going crazy. And at that time, Baji and his wife opened their new restaurant, and they were taking pictures for their menu and posting them on Facebook, and I was just like, oh God, it was driving me crazy. So I just was daydreaming about just driving to their town, staying there for a week, and eating their whole menu. That's the kind of insanity that this stuff will, 26 days without eating will do for you. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, so I'm still looking for the right van to get. I've been saving my pennies, saving my ducats. I've got a little nest egg. I'm going to try and find something. I've been looking like crazy, but nothing's shown up that's appropriate yet. But I'm optimistic. So anyway, hey Lee, good to see ya. Shanda, Karen, whoops. I want to say thank you to everyone that has donated to me. There are, in the first couple of months, I was diagnosed in September, and for those first couple of months before I started the GoFundMe thing, I was just depending on whoever felt the need to donate to my PayPal account to just do that. And people came through. Some people came through, and the money that those folks donated went directly to buying all the supplements and food that I needed to build myself up. That ultimately helped me make it through this, because if I hadn't built myself up, built up my immune system, and built up my body, I might not have made it. And I know that. About when I was going through those 26 days of not eating, that's the period when a lot of people die, you know, because the cure basically kills them. And so I really want to thank everyone that's donated, even people that weren't able to donate money but were able to donate their time, attention, care, prayer, thoughts. They copied and pasted my stuff and let other people know, and just gave a hoot. You know what I mean? I'll relate this again. There was a moment when I was on the bed. I was fetal. It was really hard to get out of the bed that day, and it was during that period where you didn't really see me on social media or anything like that. I couldn't take phone calls. I didn't have the energy, you know, and it was probably during that period of the 26 days with no food, and there was this moment. You know how I had posted something about where I was at with everything, and you know how you post stuff, sometimes you forget you posted something, right? And so the next day I'm there, and it was the morning. I started to look at the thing that I posted the day before. I read it, and then I looked and I saw there were like over 100 responses, you know, and I started to read them. And you know, hit the heart, the love button on there. Hit the love button. I hit the love button, and I started. I was like, I was overwhelmed. Basically, I was just overwhelmed by all these people, half of whom I didn't know. I never met them in face to face, but they were saying things like, "We love you." Something as simple as "we love you," and I felt it. I felt it right here, you know. I mean, so many times we say stuff like that online, you know, and oh, I love you, and it doesn't, you know, we just shine it on. Oh yeah, right. You know, it doesn't. But that day, that moment, it hit me so hard. I started to cry, you know, and then I started to laugh and cry. Because I was crying and laughing and crying. I mean, it just went on for like a half an hour. I'd read another one, you know. And it really made. If you ever wonder if any of that matters to somebody that's in those kind of straits, hell yeah! If you ever hesitate, don't, because you never know where somebody's head is at, where somebody's heart is at, and where it might actually make a difference between whether they're still here or not. Because I'll tell you straight up, stuff like that, you can live on that. That was my diet at the time. You know, you can live on people giving a hoot about you. You can live on humor. You know, somebody making a joke that's got nothing to do with your situation, but you know, you feel this like, it's overwhelming. That feeling of being overwhelmed by the fact that there's other human beings in the world that are connected to you by whatever strange means, you know, whatever it took. You know, they feel something, you feel something, and that's what life is for. That's what life is about. That's what makes all of this worth living. You know, I think humor and caring that's what the world runs on. Ultimately, that's what keeps us all on the planet. You know, that and maybe some gravity or something. I don't know. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. And you know, it's been 9 months since the diagnosis, so I know that what I've been going through has been a death transformation and rebirth process, and I think we're on the rebirth phase of this. That said, one of the things that I've been doing the past 3 weeks is spending a lot of time in solitude, and I've been really blessed by all these different animal medicines that have been coming to me, like the spiders and that that rattlesnake that went across my leg. The other day, I think it was Tuesday. I was in the hot spring, and right next to the hot spring, the hot spring is right on the Kern River, and that river is really, really, really cold. And so I would be in the hot springs, and then I would jump into the river and hold on to this tree root that was in because the current was so strong. So I'm holding on to the tree root, just riding the current, and this right in front of my face, just like that, a beaver went right in front of me. It was so amazing. I was like, I don't know, beside myself, because I mean, that's the closest I've ever been to a beaver. And so there was beaver medicine. And oh, I am so glad I remembered this. All right, so I'm in Randall's rocket, you know, the Randall Integer, another one of my angels who saw me like trying to get a vehicle together and everything like that. And he gave me, he had a 95 Honda that had been sitting in his yard for a year, and he just gave it to me so that I could make it to the radiation treatments and whatnot. And I call it Randall's rocket because it's a rocket, man. I'm used to being in a Volkswagen bus that barely works, so you know it can go over 60 miles an hour, and that's a rocket to me, you know. So I've been car camping out of it, and you know, I've got a tent. Sometimes I sleep in the tent, but most often I just sleep in the car. You know, put the driver's seat down and whatnot. And so I'd spent a week in Big Sur, and I drove back over to the hot springs, and I just felt like I needed more before I came back here for this. And I got in really late. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't have the energy to put up the tent, so I just slept in the car, right? So at the crack of dawn, I hear this really weird sound. and like something is touching the car. Something is kind of moving pushing the car, but not really pushing it like it wants it to go someplace. It's just there's something leaning against it or something like that, right? But it's the weird sound that's got me going, you know, and it brings me out of my sleep. And I turn around and I look out the back of the car, this little hatchback thingy, right? And there's a cow licking the back window. There's a cow licking the back window of the car, right? And I'm like, really? It's a salt lick, you know? And it licked the whole back of the window, and then it started to try to nibble on the glass and everything, and it saw that wasn't happening. And by that time, I was like, okay, all right. And I went back. I was like, I'm going to try to go back to sleep. So I go back to sleep. I look out, and before I do, and I see that I'm surrounded by a herd of cattle. And I'm parked on the side of the road in the mountains, and I'm surrounded by this herd of cattle. And this one cow really loves the taste of my back window, right? So what ended up happening is, I fell back asleep, I think, for a little bit, and a little while later, something said, "Open up your eye." You know, I pop open one of my eyes, and I'm looking at through the passenger side window, right? And the cow has his nose or her nose pressed against the window, and they're looking in at me, and we're looking at one. That's how I woke up that day. That was so wonderful. Cow medicine. There was cow medicine, America. So I felt really blessed. And then let's see. That was a really good day. What else? That was the day that the beaver came by. That was good. And there were a couple of other really wonderful things that happened that day. Oh yeah, that was the day I was able to get a hold of the doctor and get a solid date on this PET scan. So yeah, that's it. That's about it. I could go on and on, but once again, thank you all for coming. Let's take another look at where we are. This is Point Lagoo. I'm actually on the point itself, so you can't really see it. I guess I can walk over here. A little dramatic, you think? Out of the wind a little bit. Yay! All right. Hey Danielle, don't know if you're still on there, but I don't know if I told you this, but my sister lives in your old hometown in Pacifica, and I've been visiting her off and on for the past month, and I kind of dig your town. There's the beaches and the cliffs and stuff have been really amazing. And the other day we were up there, sitting there watching the sunset, and this guy comes floating by in a power glider. What is it? A power kite glider thing. It was amazing. He shut the engine off and just floated. You know, we were on the cliff, and he's just floating. We're like looking straight across at him, and it's, you know, the cliffs there are pretty steep. It worked for me. I have to say I drooled about that some, because I would kind of like to do that. No, I wouldn't kind of like to. I really want to do that. So we'll see what happens. See what the future holds. So the other day I was up at the springs there, and I realized, it came to me that where I'm at right now, and what's happened over the past 9 months with the cancer. It's like the cancer thing, you know, we call it cancer, but it feels like it's just been the tool for this specific path of rebirth that I called in as a soul, you know. And you've heard me refer to this as a shamanic journey, and I really feel like it's only beginning. I feel like I'm just starting out, you know. And so for the past month or so, I've been processing, you know, what's happened over the past 9 months, because there were times things were happening so fast, you know, and so present, that I didn't really get a chance to process what was happening at that time. And you know, when I'm in the still of the night, when I'm all by myself, I can you know, stare up at the sky and just let whatever needs come through. And some other news is I started a book several years ago, and when I was up on the mountain over Christmas, I wrote about 80 pages of it. And a couple of weeks ago, the book is called The Metaphysician. A couple of weeks ago, I looked at that manuscript, and I found the folder it was in, and I discovered that there were two versions of the manuscript. And I never realized there were two versions of the manuscript. So what this means is One of those manuscripts is from several years ago, and one of those manuscripts are what I wrote in January or February, December. And so together, there's like 150 pages that are already done of this project. But I've spent the past month trying to figure out like how is this a story? I wanted it to be a story, you know. I wasn't sure how it was was gonna work as a book, you know. And then it came to me, and 2 days ago when I was at the springs, I was in the springs underwater, and it came to me, and when I got out of the springs, I went back to my car and I started to basically I'm drawing it. It's I don't know if it's a graphic novel, but it's definitely graphic. I don't know that it's a novel. I don't know if it's a story. We'll find out. I'm just gonna draw up these pages, and we'll see if it turns into a story. But the project is on its way, and this will be my 30th book when it's done. So I'll be working on that for the next good while here, you know, however long that takes. I'm kind of excited about it. It feels like I'm on the right path with that, and that, you know, it's the perfect manifestation for you know, after the death phase, you know, the death, transformation, rebirth phase. This is it's kind of like, imagine you know, that voice in your head that tells you wisdom. So I've been writing what that voice says now, and that's what this book is about. It's as a collection of those thoughts. So I'm kind of excited about the project. Now that I know I have a better idea of where we're going with it, you know. So I've drawn about 7 pages so far in the past 2 or 3 days. So we'll see how it goes from here. Anyway, that's what's up. That's all the news that's fit to print. Did I mention how much I'm really looking forward to eating some actual food I can chew this time tomorrow after 3 days of water fasting? Yeah. And did I mention how blessed I am? You know, it's like I feel like the whole world is kind of going through what I'm going through in terms of like the social distancing and the, you know, the wearing of masks and all that sort of stuff, which is what I would normally have to be doing at this stage of my recovery. And I really feel blessed that there are people that have been willing to donate to my recovery and my continued existence on this planet. Thank you very much, everybody. And the GoFundMe thing has been really essential to my, you know, continued existence. You know, like I said earlier, you know, at least half of that money that people donated, I think people donated about $10,000. At least half of that money went into food and housing, you know, during when I had to be, you know, in LA, you know, I was able to pay rent where I was staying, and I was able to leading up to the treatments, I was able to eat, you know, really good food, and I'm hoping to do more of that as we go forward from here. I've been eating a lot of protein, but it's, you know, it's really challenging, psychologically challenging, because I can't taste. I know what the food should taste like, and it doesn't taste anything like it, you know. So it's really challenging. The taste buds coming back slowly. I'm after the PET scan is over. I'm gonna be starting this regimen with this stuff that works with my tongue. That will I'm hoping will help regenerate the taste buds faster. So it's a not homeopathic, but it's a natural, herbal. It's an herbal solution, and we'll see how that goes. So, but right now, chicken still tastes like napkins. The skin, I can taste the skin, and fat, but I can't taste the actual chicken itself. Subtle savories, they're not happening yet. I can taste strawberries, but they don't taste completely like a strawberry. I can taste blueberries, but they don't, it doesn't taste like it's supposed to taste yet. So anyway, small potatoes, small ones. Hey, Meg. Tell Jonathan I said hey. And I'm really close to where you guys. I think you live in Ventura. I just drove through there. Stopped at the Walmart to get I've been when I left Venice, I didn't know how long I was going to be gone, and I didn't bring my clothes. I just basically brought what I was wearing. A pair of pants and a t-shirt. And I found another t-shirt in my car and a pair of shorts, and that's what I've been, aside from sweatshirts and stuff, that's what I've been wearing for the past month or so. And I figured it was time to invest in a new bag of t-shirts. So I went to the Walmart in Oxnard and just now, and bought this bag. It was really hard. I don't know what maybe there's like a virus going around, coronavirus or something like that. But there were hardly any pants on the shelf, and hardly the hole where the t-shirts would normally be. You know how that aisle is all t-shirts and everything like that. Folded through the loom and all this sort of stuff. Completely decimated. There were maybe 15 bags of t-shirts, and there's no large, they're all like extra double whatever, or super small or whatever. And so I bought a bag of t-shirts, and so I can look semi-civil tomorrow when I go to the hospital. So, I haven't been wearing a mask much, because I haven't been in civilization much the past couple of weeks, but my sister gave me some masks to wear to go to the hospital tomorrow and Wednesday, and so I'm all set with that. Yeah, I'm feeling blessed over here, and I think I'm gonna sign off now. Thanks again for watching, and thanks again for supporting, and especially all those folks that gave money to my GoFundMe campaign, and I'll be posting something on Wednesday or Thursday about the results of the PET scan. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not crossing my fingers, but you know what I mean. You know how these things go. Oh, we have to look at this. This is beautiful. Look at that blue. Isn't that magnificent? Yes, it is, David. Oh, so now we get to do my favorite part, which is this is me beaming love at you. I love that. Simple pleasures, right? Remember, we love you.